Welcome back. Time for Media Watch. James Creedon here. He's ready. He's warmed up. The French end of school exam, the
baccalaureate.
Now, this is the equivalent to the A level, isn't it?
Yes.
To meet. Okay. Now that started yesterday, and the first exam is, as ever, philosophy.
Philosophy, and every year it's
What's
a big.
the philosophy behind that?
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe it's like give them a tough one to start with. I don't know. It seems a bit unfair, but every year it's the same thing. What came up in the philosophy paper, and actually it's almost getting as much print as the parliamentary elections yesterday, which we were talking about earlier. In any case, is it the question that came up? Is if I could find it, here we have it. Yes, on 4 hours. Basically, it was about work and the worth of work,
okay,
and how much you earn when you're working.
Okay,
and usually you're meant to write for 4 hours a long piece on the existential nature or quality of work.
They always use that Voltaire quote: "Work can often be the father of pleasure."
Well, there you go. You'd have had a great opening line.
There you go.
So in any case, what you had for I think the first year ever really is it became a tweet, kind of a subject of conversation on Twitter. Now we're going from 4 hour sort of extrapolations on complicated aspects of philosophical questions to the 140 character tweet.
Indeed.
So I'm not sure if it works out quite as well. In any case,
tweetosophy. There we go.
That's right. So work was the big thing this year, and its utility, its worth. It's all about work. And as they're saying here, well, a subject of philosophy which will allow students to, relativize about their future unemployment. So kind of saying it's not a very gloomy outlook, moment,
isn't it?
And this person was equally gloomy. Where is he? There was another gloomy person as well. And then there were, I suppose, the people who thought they were being very funny. I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I tweet. I tweet, therefore I am. So that's a sort of a modern take on Descartes. I think, therefore I am. Actually, yeah, I've heard...
What was the Frank Sinatra on? Doobie 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 doo, some of that, there you go.
It might make more sense, actually, than I tweet, therefore I am.
Well,
so,
okay.
And
it's a nice twist on it, fitting into the Twitter format, so it shows the kids are thinking.
This is it, and they're also, I suppose, mocking a little bit.
Oh, this is nice. This is surreal. This is on the old surreal one, isn't it?
That's right. I this is not a tweet, and it's a reference to this year. This is not.
That's Magritte, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. Magritte's pipe, and as Magritte pointed out at the time, you can't pack this with tobacco. It might look like a pipe, but it's not.
This is not a pipe. It's actually a picture. That's it.
There you go.
That's it.
So you see, you can have philosophy on Twitter
and surrealism, and we have it all on Media Watch thanks to James, which is great.
But the thing is, there have been a lot of people who have think they've come up with a real pearl of wisdom in just one line.
Yeah.
And instead of spending 4 hours writing reams and reams of paper for their first baccalaureate exam, they'll just put in that one killer line. And in the past, people who have answered very pertinently with a couple of lines, they've actually done very well.
Now, I used to try that when I was doing my A-levels, and I used to get marked down.
I think it's probably not,
because my teachers worked out that I was actually just basically a dosser. There we go.
It's a risky strategy.
Okay,
it's a risky strategy.
Okay, this is a television program. Let's move on to the next topic. Google reports an alarming rise in censorship in governments.
Yes. Now, they have a biannual report, comes out, the last one, obviously enough, 6 months ago. And in that 6 month period, a big rise in the number of governments who've asked them to take material off Google, to dereference videos, articles or whatever. So the statistics are pretty shocking. Spain asked for 270 links to blogs, newspaper articles, which were critical of public figures in Spain, to be taken down in the past 6 months, and Google refused to comply. In the UK, there were 5, I think, YouTube accounts allegedly promoting terrorism. They were taken down. So it depends on the situation. Lèse Majesté then was something that the Thais were getting upset about over in Thailand with their king. They were left online. In Canada, there was a video showing a citizen urinating on his passport and flushing it down the toilet. Google refused to take it down. So what we're seeing here is Google wrapping governments over the finger, saying you shouldn't be asking us to take this stuff down. But actually, in a way, this is a public corporation, a corporation that isn't elected, making these decisions within nation states as to whether or not material is available publicly or not. It's a very unusual situation where you see Google almost admonishing states for sometimes what is relatively fair requests. I mean, I think in that instance with Canada,
the Sex Pistols sang about anarchy in the UK. James, your single's going to be about anarchy on the internet. James, I need to cut you off there. I'm very sorry.
Right.
James Creedon with Media Watch.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Mark.
sir, for that